chosen one, in a world filled with chaos, doubt, and hidden agendas, you walk a path that few can see and even fewer can understand. You move through life with a light in your heart that is unseen by most, guided by a force that whispers only to those who are ready to listen. And now, at this very moment, Allah has placed someone in your path not by chance, not by coincidence, but as a direct command. He is calling you to act, to step forward, to become the instrument of mercy, guidance, and change. The world may question your choices, people may misunderstand your intentions, but the chosen ones do not wait for recognition. They do not pause for approval, and they do not hesitate when Allah commands. Your actions are not just for them, they ripple into the unseen, shaping destinies, healing hearts, and opening doors that no one else could reach. Today, you will learn 7 powerful lessons that reveal why Allah has entrusted you with this sacred responsibility, how your obedience transforms both the seen and unseen, and why your courage in this moment will echo far beyond what your eyes can perceive. This is your calling, your divine mission, and your moment to act, because when Allah commands, destiny waits for no one. Chosen one, understand this truth deeply, because it reveals why Allah does not place ordinary people in extraordinary positions. He chooses you because your heart carries a courage that others simply do not possess, a courage born not from ignorance of fear, but from a profound trust in His decree, and an unwavering connection to His guidance. While the profound connection to His guidance, world hesitates, doubts, and walks away from responsibility, you are being called to act, not because the task is easy, but because your soul has been tempered through trials, purified through patience, and strengthened by divine wisdom that only the chosen ones can carry. And this courage is not about seeking recognition, proving yourself, or gaining validation. It is about aligning your steps with Allah's will, even when every worldly reason screams to retreat, even when the voices of fear, pride, or insecurity rise within you, because the moment you step forward, fully aware of the weight of your responsibility, you become a living testimony of faith in action, a walking proof that divine strength manifests in hearts that trust Him without question. And that courage is not measured by the absence of challenge, but by the willingness to act in spite of it, to move when the world stands frozen, to speak when silence is easier, and to help when hesitation would be simpler, because the chosen ones are not measured by the obstacles they face, but by the divine commands they obey, by the mercy they extend when no one is watching, and by the unwavering conviction that Allah has prepared them for moments like this, moments where ordinary fear meets extraordinary purpose, and ordinary hearts are elevated to vessels of divine intervention, meaning that your courage is both the reason you were chosen and the tool through which blessings, guidance, and mercy flow to those Allah has placed before you. Never doubt that your strength, your readiness, and your faith are unique, because He does not entrust His commands to those who shrink in the face of responsibility, but to you, the chosen one, whose heart, when aligned with His will, becomes unstoppable, unshakable, and a source of hope and salvation for the one He has commanded you to help. Chosen one, never underestimate the power of your actions, for every step you take to help the person Allah has placed before you is more than a simple gesture. It is a divine bridge through which mercy, guidance, and blessing flow from the unseen realms into this world, a bridge that no one else can build, because only the chosen ones move in alignment with Allah's perfect timing, perfect wisdom, and perfect decree. What may seem small in your eyes, a word of encouragement, a helping hand, a moment of patience, or even a silent prayer whispered on their behalf, carries the weight of worlds, shaping destinies, opening doors, and igniting paths that were previously unseen. And know this: The impact of your obedience is not measured by recognition, gratitude, or the visible results. Because Allah's scales are different from the world's, and what He values is the alignment of your intention with His command, the sincerity in your heart, and the courage to act when the world says wait, when fear whispers retreat, and when doubt tempts hesitation. The chosen ones understand that by acting, they are not merely assisting a person, they are participating in a divine orchestration, becoming instruments through which mercy travels. Doors of opportunity swing open, hearts soften, guidance manifests, and blessings multiply exponentially, because Allah's commands are never random, and the person in front of you is positioned not by coincidence, but by divine strategy, meaning your actions are the conduit through which Allah delivers what the person needs, whether it be relief, direction, spiritual awakening, or protection from trials they cannot see. And even if your heart feels small, even if your effort seems insignificant, the unseen world witnesses the ripple effect. The angels record every moment of obedience, and the person you help may be spared from hardships, guided towards salvation, or blessed in ways that will eternally resonate. All because you chose to move when Allah commanded, to act when the world hesitated, and to trust that your obedience is part of something infinitely greater than yourself, proving once again that the chosen ones are not bystanders in life. They are living channels of divine mercy, and their actions, when aligned with Allah's will, become bridges that connect heaven and earth, transforming lives, shaping destinies, and bringing forth blessings that only the unseen can measure. Blessings that start with your courage to obey and continue in ways your mind could never imagine. Chosen one, listen carefully, because this truth could change the course of both your life and the life of the person Allah has placed in your path. Delay is dangerous, hesitation is costly, and the moment you postpone acting upon Allah's command, the blessings, protection, and guidance that were meant to flow through you risk being obstructed by time, circumstance, or human weakness. For Allah's timing is precise, His decree is perfect, and His wisdom encompasses the seen and unseen worlds. And yet, the world constantly tempts you to wait, to overthink, to seek perfection, or to justify inaction. But the chosen ones understand that obedience is not about convenience or comfort. It is about immediacy, urgency, and trust in the one who knows the beginning and end of all things. Because the person before you may be at a tipping point, a critical junction where your intervention could prevent loss, despair, or spiritual derailment. And when you delay, even for a single moment, the opportunity to change a destiny, to open a heart, or to redirect a soul may slip beyond reach, leaving consequences that only Allah fully comprehends. Yet when you act swiftly, guided by faith, patience, and sincerity, you participate in a divine plan that stretches far beyond your perception. For every word, every gesture, every act of help becomes a chain linking mercy to need, guidance to readiness, and hope to despair. And the chosen ones know that the trials of hesitation, the whispers of fear, and the pull of worldly distractions are all tests designed to measure your alignment with divine will. For obedience is not passive, it is decisive, immediate, and unwavering, and it transforms the one you help as well as yourself, because acting promptly in accordance with Allah's command creates ripples that cannot be undone, blessings that cannot be measured, and protection that cannot be quantified. And even if the outcome is unseen, even if the person resists, even if the results are delayed, your obedience itself carries eternal reward, proof that you trusted Him, followed His guidance, and became the instrument of mercy, help, and transformation that only the chosen ones are capable of being, showing that in the eyes of Allah, obedience is life, hesitation is risk, and delay is a luxury that the faithful cannot afford. Chosen one, hear this and embed it in your heart, because it is a secret of the universe that only those who are truly aligned with Allah's will can fully grasp. Every action, every word, every gesture you extend to the person He places in your path carries with it an unseen weight that is measured not by what the world perceives, not by applause or recognition, not by immediate results, but by the purity of your intentions, the depth of your sincerity, and the alignment of your heart with His command. For the chosen ones understand that Allah's scales do not measure effort alone. They measure devotion, they measure the integrity of your soul, and they measure the truthfulness of your submission. And this is why the same act, performed with selfish motives, pride, or desire for worldly gain, falls short in the unseen realms, while even the smallest, quietest, unseen act done purely for Allah's pleasure carries a magnitude of reward and impact that stretches beyond time, beyond space, and beyond human understanding, because when your intention is pure, every step you take becomes a channel through which mercy flows, every word you speak becomes a vessel of guidance, and every gesture you offer becomes a spark that ignites hope, opens hearts, and changes destinies in ways that your eyes may never witness. And you must understand that intention is not a static thing. It is alive, it is constantly tested, it is constantly challenged by whispers of doubt, by the desire for validation, by the temptation to act for recognition, by the impatience of the soul, and by the subtle pull of worldly distractions. And the chosen ones know that only by constantly purifying their hearts, checking their motives, and realigning their purpose with the pleasure of Allah, do they ensure that every act they perform becomes a true instrument of divine will, because in the eyes of Allah, the unseen world, and the angels recording deeds, what you intend matters infinitely more than what you give or what you say, for intention determines the flow of barakah, the impact of your help, and the trajectory of the person you are sent to aid. And when your heart is aligned, your actions resonate like a divine echo, touching their soul, shaping their character, lifting their burden, opening their path, and leaving traces of mercy and guidance that continue long after the moment has passed, even when your help is resisted, even when your efforts are ignored, even when gratitude is absent. Because in the unseen, Allah honors the intention. He multiplies the reward, and He preserves the effect in ways your mind cannot imagine. And this is why the chosen ones act without seeking approval, without expectation, without attachment to outcome, for their eyes are on Allah alone, their hearts are fixed on His pleasure, and their souls are tethered to His wisdom, knowing that every act of obedience, every extension of help, every moment of mercy, when done with sincere intention, becomes a river that flows between the worlds, bringing relief, guidance, protection, and transformation to the one in need, while simultaneously elevating the helper, purifying the heart, strengthening faith, and shaping character, proving that in the divine economy, intention is not just the seed of action, it is the lifeblood of impact, the core of blessing, the determinant of whether your efforts touch only the surface or penetrate into eternity. And so, chosen one, before you act, pause only to check your heart, cleanse your mind, align your soul, and ensure that every move you make, every word you speak, and every help you offer is done purely for the sake of Allah, because it is this alignment, this sincerity, and this untainted devotion that transforms ordinary deeds into extraordinary instruments of divine mercy, making your presence a source of guidance, your help a channel of blessing, your action a manifestation of His will, and your life a living proof that in the hands of the chosen ones, intention is not just a private matter of the heart, It is the very force that determines the shape of destinies, the flow of mercy, and the unfolding of divine purpose in the world. Chosen one, understand this deeply, because the person Allah places before you is never just a person. They are a mirror of your faith, a reflection of your character, and a living test of the very qualities that Allah is shaping within you. And this is why every act of help, every gesture of mercy, and every extension of guidance carries with it layers of divine purpose that go far beyond what the eyes can see, because as you step forward to assist them, their reactions, their resistance, their gratitude, or their ingratitude become the measuring scales of your own obedience, patience, and sincerity. Why? And the chosen ones know that this is no ordinary moment. For the person in need may challenge your patience, provoke your ego, or even awaken doubts within your heart. Yet it is precisely in these moments that your faith is being refined, your sincerity tested, and your alignment with Allah's will confirmed. Because helping someone is not just about changing their situation, it is about proving that your intentions are pure, that your courage is unwavering, and that your heart belongs to Allah alone. And sometimes the person may resist, misunderstand, or reject your assistance, and this is not a reflection of failure, but a reflection of your own test, a divine calibration of your steadfastness, humility, and mercy. And the chosen ones understand that true assistance is measured not by compliance or gratitude, but by the fidelity of your obedience, the depth of your patience, and the constancy of your devotion. Because Allah watches not only the action, but the way you respond under pressure, the way your heart remains untainted when your help is challenged, and the way your soul continues to act without attachment to outcome. And it is in this crucible that your character is forged, your faith is purified, and your spirit is strengthened. For the person before you, their trials and their behavior are all instruments through which Allah measures, shapes, and elevates you, teaching you resilience, humility, and unconditional love, reminding you that the true test is never theirs, it is yours. And the greater the challenge, the greater the opportunity for growth, blessing, and reward, because the chosen ones know that the depth of their obedience is revealed in the face of resistance, the strength of their mercy is proven when it is unreciprocated, and the authenticity of their faith is measured when no one sees, no one praises, and no one acknowledges the sacrifices they make. And this is why every moment of assistance becomes a sacred mirror, reflecting back the qualities Allah is perfecting within you, showing you where patience must grow, where humility must deepen, and where reliance on Him must become complete. Because when you act with a pure heart despite difficulty, when you continue to extend mercy despite rejection, when you persist in obedience despite frustration, you are not only helping the person before you, you are proving your worthiness as a chosen one, demonstrating that your faith is unshakable, your heart is sincere, and your soul is aligned with divine purpose. And even if the immediate results are unseen, even if the person resists, even if the world questions your efforts, know that Allah is orchestrating a greater design in which your patience, your mercy, your faith, and your courage are all being magnified, multiplied, and rewarded beyond comprehension. For the chosen ones understand that every person placed in their path is a mirror of the trials they must overcome, the virtues they must perfect, and the character Allah intends to elevate, proving that helping someone is never just about them. It is about the obedience, faith, and purification of the one He has chosen, making every act of assistance a divine test, a sacred responsibility, and a path to eternal reward, where your heart, soul, and intentions are shaped and molded to reflect the qualities of those truly aligned with His will, showing that, in the lives of the chosen ones, Every person they help is a reflection, every challenge is a calibration, and every obedience is a victory not only for the one in need, but for the soul that has been entrusted with a divine mission. Chosen one, understand this truth with absolute clarity, for it is one of the most powerful realities that the hearts of the faithful are often slow to comprehend. When Allah commands you to act, when He places someone in your path and calls you to extend mercy, guidance, or assistance, your obedience does not merely fulfill a duty, it summons divine protection that envelops you in ways unseen, unfathomable, and beyond the perception of ordinary minds. While the world may challenge, threaten, or attempt to deter you, the chosen ones move with a shield around their hearts and souls, a shield forged not by human strength, but by the alignment of intention, faith, and action with the will of Allah. And you must understand that this protection is not always obvious to the eyes, for it often manifests in subtle, unseen ways: a timely intervention, an avoided trap, a softened heart, a delayed enemy, a sudden opportunity, or a whisper of guidance that turns the course of events. And yet, to the untrained eye, it may seem as though you are alone, vulnerable, or exposed, which is precisely the test whether you will trust Him completely, step forward in faith, and act with courage despite appearances, knowing that His protection is present even when it is invisible, tangible, or immediately recognized. The chosen ones understand that the opposition, the obstacles, and the resistance you encounter are not signs of abandonment, but signs of the immense responsibility entrusted to you, and that every difficulty, every trial, every challenge is a divine measurement of your trust, piety, once, and perseverance. For Allah does not place His chosen servants in positions of influence or mercy without surrounding them with trials that refine, purify, and reveal the depth of their faith. And so, as you obey His command to help the one before you, every step you take is simultaneously an act of protection for them, a test of your own reliance on Allah, and a declaration that you are aligned with a higher purpose that transcends fear, doubt, and worldly limitation, because the chosen ones know that divine protection is not passive. It moves with the momentum of obedience, follows the trajectory of faith, and accompanies acts of sincere mercy. And when you act from a place of pure intention, courage, and submission, obstacles that seemed insurmountable crumble, opposition that seemed threatening dissolves, and the path opens before you as though guided by unseen hands, for Allah Himself shields His servants when they act in accordance with His will, protects them from harm, preserves their efforts, and ensures that the blessings meant to flow through their actions reach those they are intended for, while simultaneously fortifying their hearts, strengthening their resolve, and deepening their trust. And even when the world reacts with criticism, envy, or disbelief, the chosen ones remain untouched, because divine protection is not measured by popularity, recognition, or absence of difficulty, but by the alignment of the heart, the obedience of the soul, and the courage of the will. And this is why you must never hesitate, never question, and never allow fear of opposition or worldly consequence to prevent you from acting when Allah commands, for it is precisely in these moments that protection manifests most powerfully, in the timing of events, in the guidance of decisions, in the deflection of harm, in the softening of hearts, and in the unseen support of forces beyond comprehension. And even when the person you help resists, even when the outcome seems uncertain, even when the path is steep and the world appears unkind, know that every act of obedience carries with it a shield of divine favor, a network of protection that spans the seen and unseen, and a blessing that reinforces both your own soul and the life of the one you assist, proving that the chosen ones are never truly alone, never truly vulnerable, and never without support. Because when you move in obedience, you move under the protection of the Most High, and this protection transforms obstacles into opportunities, resistance into lessons, fear into courage, and doubt into certainty, demonstrating that the hands, hearts, and intentions of the chosen ones are not simply acting, they are moving within the fortress of divine safeguard orchestrated by Allah Himself, and that every risk taken, every step forward, and every challenge faced is enveloped in a shield that cannot be broken by human opposition, cannot be penetrated by worldly forces, and cannot be diminished by uncertainty, because divine protection follows obedience, magnifies courage, preserves the faithful, and elevates the chosen ones to a state of trust, certainty, and readiness where their actions carry impact. Beyond the physical realm, touching hearts, guiding souls, preventing harm, and fulfilling divine purpose in ways that are eternally recorded, infinitely rewarded, and immeasurably blessed. Reminding you that the moment you obey, you are never alone, never exposed, and never powerless. For Allah Himself walks with you, shields you, and ensures that your mercy, guidance, and help reach their intended destination, all while shaping your character, fortifying your heart, and elevating your soul to reflect the qualities of those who are truly His chosen, proving once again that obedience is not simply a duty, it is a divine conduit for protection, blessing, and transformation that cannot be interrupted, resisted, or undone, and that the life of the chosen ones is a living testimony to the reality that when Allah commands, protection follows, destiny aligns, and mercy flows. Chosen one, understand this with absolute clarity, for the person Allah places before you is never merely an individual in need, never merely a circumstance to address, never merely a fleeting opportunity. They are a part of a divine design far greater than your mind can comprehend, a thread in the intricate tapestry of destiny that Allah Himself weaves with wisdom, precision, and knowledge beyond the reach of human perception. And every step you take to help them, every word you speak, every act of guidance or mercy, is a contribution to a grand plan that stretches across time, space, and the unseen realms, shaping lives, redirecting paths, and influencing outcomes in ways that will only be fully revealed on the day of judgment. For the chosen ones understand that their role is not limited to the immediate or the visible, but is part of a larger orchestration in which every action, no matter how small it seems, carries the weight of eternity. And this is why hesitation, doubt, or fear is a luxury the faithful cannot afford, because to delay is to risk interrupting the flow of divine wisdom. To second guess is to question the decree of the Most High, and to withhold is to withhold blessings, guidance, and transformation that were meant to pass through you. For Allah places you in specific moments, in specific situations, with specific people, precisely because He knows that you are capable of fulfilling a role that no one else can, a role that requires courage, patience, purity of heart, and unwavering trust in His plan. And even if the person you help resists, even if the results are not immediately visible, even if your efforts seem unnoticed or insignificant, the truth is that Allah is moving unseen forces, orchestrating events, and arranging circumstances to ensure that your help has a ripple effect far beyond what your eyes can see, and every decision you make, every action you take in sincere obedience, becomes part of this sacred architecture, ensuring that mercy reaches those who need it, guidance reaches those who are lost, protection reaches those who are vulnerable, and hope reaches those who are despairing, all while your own soul is being elevated, your own character refined, and your own faith strengthened. For the chosen ones understand that helping others is never merely transactional, never merely optional, never merely about what appears in this world, but is a sacred trust, a divine responsibility, and a spiritual vehicle through which Allah manifests His wisdom, His mercy, and His justice. And it is precisely in this understanding that the weight, the significance, and the responsibility of your actions are fully realized, because every act of sincere help, every gesture of mercy, every moment of patience, and every word of guidance you offer is like a pebble dropped into the vast ocean of Allah's plan, creating waves that extend far beyond the immediate, touching hearts, influencing communities, altering the course of generations, and fulfilling a purpose that you may never witness in this life, yet which will be revealed in its full magnitude in the hereafter, when you and the one you helped both recognize the unseen threads of divine orchestration, the hidden wisdom behind the moments of struggle, the purpose behind the challenges, and the beauty behind the timing. For the chosen ones trust that Allah's plan is perfect, that His timing is impeccable, and that their obedience, sincerity, and courage are instruments through which His will is realized, and therefore, when you act to help someone, you are not merely assisting them in a worldly sense, you are participating in the completion of divine purpose, fulfilling a part of the cosmic design, and becoming a living testament to the reality that Allah works through His chosen ones to bring mercy, guidance, and transformation into the world in ways that are precise, intentional, and eternal. So never doubt the significance of your action, never question the timing, never underestimate the power of your obedience, because your help, guided by sincerity and faith, is woven into a grand eternal plan, a plan that carries blessing, reward, and impact beyond human comprehension, proving that the chosen ones are not acting in isolation, not moving without purpose, and not helping without consequence, but are central actors in the divine orchestration of life itself, and that every act of obedience, every extension of mercy, and every step taken in alignment with Allah's command is a thread in the vast, beautiful, and infinitely wise tapestry of His plan, connecting the seen and unseen, shaping destinies, transforming lives, and proving that the chosen ones are instruments of divine will, vessels of mercy, and witnesses to the unfolding of a purpose that spans eternity, a plan that is perfect, intentional, and entirely guided by the Most High, reminding you that your help is never small, never inconsequential, and never without impact, because when Allah commands, the ripple effect of your obedience touches not only the person in front of you, but the world, the unseen realms, and your own eternal reward. For the chosen ones know that every act of assistance, every gesture of mercy, every word of guidance is a sacred contribution to a divine plan that is greater than any one life, any one moment, or any one understanding, proving that your life, your actions, and your obedience are intertwined with the wisdom, mercy, and purpose of Allah Himself, and that nothing you do in sincere faith is ever wasted, overlooked, or without consequence. For in the lives of the chosen ones, helping someone is never just about them, it is about participating in a larger, eternal, divine plan that is unfolding perfectly through their obedience, courage, and unwavering faith. Chosen one, now you understand the truth that separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. Allah has placed someone before you not by chance, not by coincidence, but by His divine command. And every action you take, every moment of obedience, every gesture of mercy is part of a larger plan that only He fully sees and orchestrates. You are not here to wait for recognition, to seek validation, or to act when it is easy. The chosen ones move when Allah commands, knowing that courage, intention, obedience, and faith are the forces that shape destiny, protect the soul, and deliver mercy. Remember, your courage is unmatched. Your actions are bridges to blessings. Your obedience summons protection. Your intentions determine impact. And every person you help reflects your own testing while participating in a divine design far beyond your comprehension. The world may not understand, people may resist, and results may not appear immediately. Yet what matters is the alignment of your heart with Allah's will, for it is this alignment that transforms ordinary deeds into instruments of mercy, guidance, and transformation that ripple across time, space, and the unseen realms. Chosen one, rise now, act without hesitation, trust without question, and know that your help, your mercy, and your obedience are not small, they are monumental, eternal, and woven into the tapestry of divine purpose itself. Today, the path has been made clear. Do not delay, do not doubt, and do not underestimate your power as a vessel of Allah's will. Step forward, act with sincerity, and embrace your role as a chosen one, for the lives you touch, the blessings you release, and the mercy you extend are not just changing this world, they are fulfilling a plan that only the Most High could have designed, and through you, His purpose continues, His guidance flows, and His mercy reigns. Go now, with courage, with faith, and with certainty, and let your obedience become the light that illuminates not only the path of the one you help, but the path of your own eternal reward. Because, in the eyes of Allah, the chosen ones never act in vain, never move alone, and never walk a path without purpose.